At the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, Leon Marchand went 4 for 4 gold in his individual events and had some absolutely incredible swims, winning 4 gold medals, setting 4 Olympic records and absolutely smashing the field. But how does he do it? What are his secrets? So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down Leon Marchand's world record 400 IM swim at the World Championships, so hopefully you can take something away and translate it and implement it in your own training. Okay, let's jump right into it. Right here we have Leon Marchand in lane number 5 going against Foster. We have some world-class swimmers in this field, so it's going to be very, very exciting to see what he can do. I mean, I've watched this race already. He set an absolutely amazing world record. And the first thing we're going to have a look at is, I think it's by far one of his insane attributes and one of his secret weapons, which is his underwaters. First of all is his streamline, guys. I say this all the time, regardless of it being younger swimmers, my older swimmers, triathletes, whatever it is. If you swim and you push off the wall, it is so important for you to push off in a nice, tight, streamline position. You can see both arms are behind his head. He's squeezing the back of his head nice and tight. Generally, what I like to say, if you are able to move your head through your arms, your streamline is not tight enough. You should be in a nice, tight, streamlined position where your head is not actually able to move between your arms. That's the first most important thing. Let's keep watching. I want to slow down his underwaters. You can see how he's utilizing his chest and his hips. You can see that dolphin kick comes from him pressing his chest down and then him lifting his hips up. So again, as I always like to say, a great dolphin kick consists of your chest and your hips, meaning as your chest goes down, your hips come up, and as your hips go down, your chest comes up. And you can see in this video, he's doing that very well. That press of the chest and the hips coming up and down. Beautiful underwaters, guys. Again, if you're an age group swimmer, especially if you're an age group swimmer and you're a competitive swimmer in the pool, please, please, please make sure you practice your underwaters in training every single day, because I can promise you that this is what's going to really make a difference as you start to make your way through the rankings of kind of senior and that end of junior level swimming. Okay, let's continue watching. We're going to go back to full speed. And as I mentioned, guys, this is him swimming against a world-class field. These are the best swimmers in the world, okay? Beautiful butterfly. I mean, all of these swimmers have an amazing technique, but today, specifically, we are focusing on Leon because, again, he's the world record holder and he's by far the fastest 400 IM swimmer in the world. Okay, I just want to very quickly have a quick look at his butterfly pole. This is a very, very nice shot. Two things I would like everybody to pay attention to, okay? First of all, I like to refer to a good butterfly as a sinking bridge. The reason why I call it a sinking bridge, you can see his hands are staying on the surface, his chest is pressed down, and his hips are nice and high. So if we were to have a bridge, it would look like that bridge is sinking because the hands are staying nice and high on the surface, the chest is coming down, and the hips are nice and high. It is very, very, very important to keep those hands on the surface because, again, what we do not want to do is follow those hands and then start our pull way too late. If we follow our hands and we take our hands down into the water, we're missing out all the water that we could be pulling. So it's very important to press that chest down, but remember to keep those hands nice and high. And the reason to why we want to make sure those hips stay nice and high is to ensure the depth of our kick is nice and big. We don't want to have any small kicks. We want to make sure every kick that we do, it is nice and powerful and we are able to really utilize our whole body behind every single kick. Okay, let's keep watching. I'm just going to delete this line. Again, very important. Look how far it gets underwater. Everyone's still swimming. I'm just going to quickly go back here. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go back. You can see everybody is still swimming. Everybody's still swimming. He's the last person to come out of the water. Okay, these underwaters are absolutely phenomenal. Okay, again, the next thing I want you guys to have a look at on this butterfly, okay, is again, something I refer to on freestyle very often as well, is that number 11 position. This also applies to your butterfly. So every single time your hands enter the water, you want to make sure they are perfectly in line with those shoulders. The best way to imagine it is to think of those train tracks, two perfectly parallel lines running either side of your body. You want to make sure on butterfly as well as freestyle, we are always entering on those lines. Again, this is because on butterfly especially, we don't want to be missing out any water that we could be pulling. Very, very important to start that pull, shoulder whip, which again, Leon Marchand, of course, is doing absolutely amazing in this swim. Let's continue watching. Sure, you can see how those hips are breaking the surface every single time. He's actually ahead of the world record already. Okay, world record already. 54.6 for 100 butterfly on a 400 IM. 54.6 and 100 butterfly alone is an absolutely amazing swim. Okay, again, you can see same rules apply for backstroke underwaters as well. Okay, chest and hips, nice tight streamline position, really pushing those hips up to the surface as much as possible, okay, which enables him to again get ahead of the field on those underwaters every single time. And you can see how he really utilizes the 15-meter mark on every single turn. The reason to why there's a 50-meter limitation on underwaters in swimming is because underwaters are faster. So again, do your underwaters, kids, do your underwaters. Into the breakout. Nice backstroke. So again, the first thing I will say, if we watch this very slowly, you can almost actually see how he is bouncing in the water. If I just go back a little bit on that shot of him swimming backstroke, okay, the first thing, I think this is the first technical aspect that I would recommend for Leon to actually improve on his backstroke is you can see how he's almost bouncing up and down in the water. Of course, I'm not taking anything away from him. He's absolutely amazing at swimming. But I always like to say, in swimming, we always only want to go forward. As soon as there is any movement up or down or side to side, we are immediately wasting energy and wasting distance, which we could be putting towards going forward. So rather than going up and down, okay, this could be a problem with his pull. This could be a problem with his kicking, his head position. I mean, we'll see if we can see any underwater footage, but very, very important, especially on backstroke, to keep that body position completely still. Okay, your head on backstroke should never, ever, ever move. Your head should stay completely still. Okay, let's go back to full speed. We're gonna go back to full speed. Once again, you can see how his arms entering perfectly in line with the shoulder every time. He's not reaching over, he's not coming too far out. Still on world record pace. Okay, his legs are like an engine behind him. It's a nice, fast, continuous kick into that nice, fast tumble turn. Let's see how far he goes underwater. My apologies. Let's see how far he goes underwater. Look at that. Again, 13, 14 meters on underwaters every single time. As I mentioned already, you can see that slight little bob on his backstroke, which I would recommend swimmers not to have. We want to stay as still as possible. But again, he's still on that world record pace. You can see that kick is nice and continuous. His head is back. His chest is nice and high. Very, very, very important. Okay, another very important thing, I don't think we'll get any underwater footage of him swimming backstroke, but any backstroker that you watch, you will notice how all of them are pulling the water with a nice bent elbow. What you do not want to do is pull the water with a straight arm. This is a huge mistake swimmers make. They just pull the water with a completely straight arm. On backstroke, if you want to get more propulsion and if you want to be stronger in the water, it's very, very important for you to make sure you are catching and having that slight bend in your elbow as you are pulling the water. Unfortunately, in this video, I don't think we'll be able to see that, but let's continue watching anyway. Into his back to breast turn. So guys, if you didn't know, when you turn back to breast on IM, you are absolutely more than allowed to do a backflip. So this is what a lot of most world-class swimmers do. They touch on their back, they do a backflip, and then they go into their breaststroke swim. Let's now have a look at this breaststroke. So you can see here, again, excellent bird's eye view shot here. You can see, okay, how he's gliding in a nice, tight V-line position at the end of every single stroke. Again, as I've mentioned in a lot of my videos before, you guys should know, okay, breaststroke is not about how many strokes you can do. It is not about who can fit in the most amount of strokes in 50 meters. It is all about making, also very similar to freestyle, it's all about making every stroke as long as possible. And you can see in this video, every single time he pushes forward, okay, he has that 1 to 2 second glide on that breaststroke. Again, still ahead of world record pace. You can see, okay, his kick stays nice and narrow. Hopefully we get another bird's eye view shot so we can have a look at his kick. But for the time being, guys, I want you to pay attention to how quickly he's getting forward into his V-line position. Again, this is a huge, huge mistake a lot of beginner swimmers make, is they come up for their breath and they just take too long to get back into that nice tight V-line position, okay? If you want to maximize the speed on your breaststroke, it is all about getting into that V-line position as quickly as you possibly can. As you can see here, every stroke, he is nice and aggressive to get into that breaststroke position. Sorry, V-line position, my apologies. Every single time he comes up, straight into that V-line position. Comes up, straight into it. He's nice and aggressive on every single stroke. Okay, again, he's just pulling away from the world record. If you guys don't know, Leon's best strokes are butterfly and breaststroke, so it is very important for him to make sure he's swimming his race correctly. He's not just trying to spin his wheels on backstroke and freestyle. He's swimming to his advantages. Butterfly and breaststroke, sorry, are his main strokes. On to freestyle, guys. First thing I want to look at is look at his kick. Look at that kick. It is insane, okay? That kick is absolutely insane, okay? So again, I've spoke about 2, 4, 6 beat kicks in my previous videos before. This is obviously a 6 beat kick, meaning he's doing 6 kicks per every arm cycle, which is of course allowing him to swim so fast. He's just pulling away from the world record more and more. Again, look at this underwater, guys. This is the last 50 of a 400 IM. He's already been swimming for almost 4 minutes and he's still doing his 50 meters underwater. Absolutely insane. Nice fast kick. You can see when he's swimming, every time he breathes, that breath is almost non-existent. You almost can't even see when he's breathing. That head movement is absolute minimum. Okay, fast, continuous legs. You can see he's staying nice and close to the surface. There's no moving up and down, side to side, any of this. His breath is very, very small. We call it sneaky breath. Okay, amazing. Staying completely flat on the surface, stretching into every single stroke. Comes in 4:02.5 for a new world record, smashing Michael Phelps' world record by over a second, which is absolutely insane. And once again, like I said, this guy is just absolute world class. He just went to the Olympics, 200 IM, 400 IM, 200 fly, 200 breaststroke within like an hour of each other, and he got 4 Olympic records, 4 gold medals. And once again, of course, it is very much his technique, but I have absolutely no doubt that this guy kills it in training. The 2 most important attributes to a world-class swimmer is hard work, consistency, and I'm going to add one more, which is coachability, which is listening to your coach, making sure you are able to take on information and take it on to your further future sessions. So guys, as always, I really hope you were able to find this video useful. If there's anything that you want to see next, please leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and I would love to see you guys back for the next video.